So hey guys, I'm Kaylee Sanders and this is Crafting with Purpose. Today we have a special guest, my mom, Jamie Sanders, the owner of Mint Studio. And it's rainy outside and we're in quarantine also, so we thought it'd be fun to make fun cozy blankets to spend the day cuddling in. So let's get started.
And we're drinking golden milk because we miss our Northern California yummy sister harvest. Golden milk is a really healthy drink.
Yep.
Does it taste good?
It tastes amazing. And it kind of tastes like warm milk, but with like this very splash of like color,
Spice.
almost spice.
So if you have yellow tongues, that's why. But it's good and it's healthy. Cheers.
Cheers. So the things that you'll be needing for this craft are some scissors and some wool.
So this is merino wool. It's very thick and very soft, and I can't find the end. So if you're on the West Coast, it's harder to get because we don't have a lot of wool suppliers, but you can see it's super thick and super soft. You can't find it at a traditional craft store, but you can order it online from several sites. We can put up some information about where to order it at the end. Look, I'm already doing it because it's so fun.
In the comments and the comment section below, I will post everything that you need to know about where to get this, how easy it is, just everything you need to know about getting this wool. So let's actually get started on this craft. So we are going to be making a small blanket that we can just cozy up in and watch some fun movies in tonight. So when we do this, we're going to be making loops, which we will show you how to do that in 2 seconds. But before you do that, we just want to tell you guys we're going to be making 12 loops, and then we just see how long we want to do it that way. So.
And we can also let them know how many, if they want to make a bigger blanket, how many loops you need.
Yes. The first step is taking your end and tucking it under, making like a loop kind of, but kind of like a backwards 4 almost, like I'm doing right here.
Pull it through. And what she's doing is every loop that she pulls through is about 2.5 inches. So if you want to have a measure, if you want to measure each one, you can, but they just need to look somewhat consistent so you don't have any big holes in your blanket when you're done, or have to undo an entire row. Do you want to show them how you count the rows? The loops?
The loops are, this is going to be 1, so you're literally just counting the loops. So 1 loop, and then you go 2 loop, and then 3 loop.
So you can see when it crosses, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 loops so far. So she's going to go all the way to 12. And you should practice this first row a couple times before you just keep going, just to make sure that's the kind of thickness you want your blanket and enough holes. It doesn't have to be a tight braid, it can be a loose one. So you really get that full, fluffy merino look. Nice job.
So the second step is taking the loop you made and taking the rope behind it and just pulling it through, making another loop. So I should have 12, but before we move on to the next step, let's make sure I have 12 and don't mess up the whole blanket. So when counting these, you want to make sure that this is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I should have stopped here, but I kept going. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I have 4 extras. So when I want to kind of delete these. So this strand right here, all I'm going to do is pull gently, and it takes them out. So I'm making sure I have a finger on the one that is 12 to make sure I don't pull too much and have to restart it all again. So now I do have 12. And the next step is making the second row. So now I have 12, and I put all my yarn going this way so it's easier. This one, I angle it, my last loop, I angle it that way. And then making the next row going this way, you want to go, see this one goes down, and you make this little circle in here. You take your hand and just go under and through, and grab the next one. You want to make sure they're all the same size, and then just keep doing this. This one goes down, this little hole right here, grab and keep on going. Now I did this a little bit too tight, as you can see, because it is kind of hard to get into the holes. So I might restart this, but it all depends on how you want to do it. This is way too tight, but just make sure that when you do make the second loop, you find the one that goes down, and you make the hole right there.
And then to make sure you stay with 12 stitches, you'll have 12 loops at the end of this row to make sure that your blanket doesn't go skinny and fat and skinny and fat.
Exactly. So the next step is just taking what you made from all those loops and making another row after that. But before we do this, you don't want to have a wonky blanket, so make sure you have exactly 12. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 exactly. So now let's move on. The loop that I landed on, or I ended with, you just want to take your hand through and pull the yarn behind it, making another loop after that. Now you want to have it the same size as the ones before that in the first row, so it's not like a big loop or a hole in the middle of your blanket. And then just keep doing this for all of them. An important thing to remember is just making sure you count after every single one, because it's so easy to drop them or drop one and then 10 rows later remember and say, oh my god, I only have 11 or I only have 9. So just make sure that you keep counting every single one. It's also really important to make sure that you're being very gentle with the wool. Merino wool, which is the one that we're using right now, is super delicate, and I have ripped it so many times. Thankfully not in this video. So just make sure, be careful, make sure you have all of the ones, all your loops, make sure you have 12, all of that. Now all you have to do is take the remaining yarn, and you do want a kind of a lot, just not too much, so you don't end up with like having enough to do another row. So what you're going to do is you take the last loop that you did, and you can do this from any side, you can do it from the left or the right, just the last one that you did. You take your loop, and then you take the next one and you loop it through your hand. So now you have 2. Then you're going to take the rope, and then you're going to just take it through like you would normally, but this time doing it with 2. Now just do that again, taking the second one with the loop you just made and make a new loop. Just keep doing this all the way until you're done. Now for those calculations. If you want to find out how many pounds that you're going to be needing, you want to do the width times the length and then divide it by 380, which equals the total amount of pounds. Everything else you need to know will be in the comments below. Do this step as many times as it takes, and then you're going to end up with one final loop. So now that you have the last loop, you just made those the last two ones, you have your last loop, you should only have a little bit, and you have to make sure to make another loop and pull it tight. So then that's all cut off, and then all you're going to do now is you're just going to kind of like weave it in. So tuck this in and then put it through another one, making sure the knot is in the back, and then doing it the same to this one.
That's it for this video.
See you next time. Bye.